What's up, guys? How's it going? Happy Thursday. Let me go to the YouTube page. How's everybody doing? Hopefully the quality of this video is better than it was yesterday. I don't know what happened, if it was just Google Live or YouTube Live, or it was the fact that maybe our internet connection was slow. I have no idea. All I know is the quality of yesterday's upload is so terrible. I'd almost like to just delete it, but I'm not going to, just because that seems like philosophically the wrong thing to do. But it's really crap. It's crap quality. I don't know. It's like all grainy and it's just hard to watch. So I'm hoping you guys can watch this one. Dude, Boat Fam. Scott, do you prefer I call you Boat Fam so that people maybe go look for your channel, or do you want me to call you Scott? Hey, all right, the quality is amazing on this one. The one yesterday was such crap. Nothing, I don't know, I rebooted the modem. Scott's asking, the quality is amazing, what's different? I have no idea. I rebooted the modem. I may also have made sure, like some programs are off. So maybe I was draining internet in some like backup thing that I was doing. I wasn't too bad. Yeah, it was really bad yesterday. Anyway, Scott, also, how do I pronounce your last name? Magdalene or Magdalene? Right? Is it? Yeah. Anyway, is this on a laptop or iPad? It's so good this time. Really, that's really interesting. It's the same setup that I've had for a bunch of, I do a bunch of these lives on, sometimes I just use my phone, the front camera of this phone, but these days I've been using like a Logitech camera that I've had for a while that is supposed to shoot in 1080p. And so it's a 1080p camera, Logitech. It's not old, it's not new, it's maybe a year old, maybe 2 years old. And like I've even been looking at some of the old videos I've been doing this live thing on, and they're in like 720p, and I don't understand that. Like maybe Google Live or YouTube Live won't let me do like live videos that are bigger than 720p. But yeah, yesterday was just terrible. Anyway, so how's everybody doing? Scott, I was going to talk about your question today. You ended on a great question. I'll cover it today. All right, let me keep track of time. 7:21. So I don't know. I've already blabbed for like 2 minutes. All right, so Scott last night asked, Boat Fam says, Scott asked, YouTube won't let me post more comments. That is messed up. What is going on? Anyway, YouTube is crazy. Anyway, Scott yesterday asked, basically, how do we measure marketing? Magdalene, cool. So Scott, right, that was your question. Like you were like curious like how we measure marketing. So I'm gonna blab about like what we do at High Rise, what I do to kind of measure the effectiveness of our marketing. So for the backstory though, still like marketing is like our biggest challenge. Like I don't have this nailed at all. Like when we took over High Rise, there were two big problems that I had to take on were the product was super stale. Customers thought it was abandoned. Customers thought that the company was dying. You know, Basecamp wanted to focus on Basecamp, so like they were just bleeding in droves. And so that was one problem. The other problem was the fact that 37 Signals wanted to focus on Basecamp. And so like just the marketing force that is David, Jason, and Basecamp as brands and celebrities were kind of just gone, right? And so like we have to figure out how to like bring in a new level of marketing to try to replace that. And I haven't quite figured that out yet, right? I think we've done a good job on the product side. Marketing, I still struggle with. Like there's efforts that we've made, some have worked, some have not. Nothing has replaced David, Jason, Basecamp. So it's something I would like to get a lot better at. We've got plenty of ideas. And so it's something that we're still working towards to figure out. So if you guys got any advice, I'd love to hear it. But here's what we do so far. So in terms of, I mean, obviously marketing is this like really vague thing, right? Because you're talking about everything that like applies the word high rise out there, right? I mean, marketing could be my shirt that says high rise that I wear around the airport, right? For a lot of people, it just means advertising. And that's not enough. It's definitely in the category. So one thing that we try to do a lot of is pay attention to coupon codes. Like we have a coupon code system, and if we're gonna do something, we try to create coupon codes for like everything. Whether it's an email we send out to say free users that are like just kind of nudging them, hey, you've been using Highrise for free, please upgrade, here's a coupon. Or it's going to a trade show and saying, hey, 50 bucks off if you visit the booth and get one of our postcards. And so, you know, there's all these like very manual things that you're doing, but those coupon codes are like that link back to some sort of metrics. So we issue a ton of coupon codes, and some of them are just obviously like duplicate, but if you don't have a coupon code system, get a coupon code system. It's like you have to have it. And sometimes you might just be offering a duplicate discount someone could find on Coupon Cabin or one of these things. That's fine. But you got to have some kind of code usually to trace it back. So I did this ink ad in Ink magazine, and I didn't use a coupon code, and I kind of regret it. I think I regret it. Like the reason I didn't use a coupon code was because I didn't want to, the whole point of the ad was to like simple CRM. I didn't want a lot of words on the page, and I thought adding a coupon code would kind of muddy that up. I think I still regret it because it's like I can't track back any traffic from that ink ad. I don't think it was super successful, but I can't really know, right? There's no way of knowing without a coupon code. So we're kind of obsessed with coupon codes over here. And then, you know, there's a lot of the usual suspects. Like we use a lot of analytics tools. We use a lot of analytics tools from old school. We use Clicky Analytics. We use Google Analytics. We use something called Heap Analytics. So a lot of analytics tools. They're all, I pull them out for different reasons. So Clicky is like a nice old school thing that I really like to just kind of have running all day long. I like the dashboard, just kind of quickly see like what's going on. Is anything new getting us traffic today? But like Google Analytics is still, I think, the thing that's like better for kind of data mining, like going through some old stuff, seeing like periods of time, what changed. Heap is another animal, which has like really been good about measuring things that you didn't know you wanted to measure before. You turn this thing on and it measures clicks, and it measures your entire site, you know, like everything, every click, every, you know, form change, so that if you didn't realize you wanted to track how many people were clicking your privacy policy, that's probably a bad example, but it's like you could say like it's a little bit better for like application level stuff. But we still use it for things like, you know, the marketing site. But Heap's an interesting one. It's like, because there's a lot of these tools that are like, you want to measure some granular things and you have to instrument them. You have to kind of like go in a code and be like, okay, anytime anybody clicks this button, send an event to your data analytics. Heap those just like measuring everything. You're like really greedy about all the clicks. And then you can decide later, you know, what was important. And they have all that back data. But still, Clicky and Google, you know, and we're constantly just watching them for like referral traffic. You know, we're constantly, you know, checking out like, did that link exchange, not a link exchange, the blog exchange work. You know, like I've traded blog posts, or not traded, I've done guest blogging at a handful of different sites, whether it's, you know, a company or whether it's a new publication. And I'm just constantly looking for referral traffic. And Clicky's been a good one for that. Again, like I could go to Google to get some really in-depth stuff, but usually when that article comes out, like I'm just in Clicky being like, are we getting any traffic from that thing that was published today? So like that's the thing that I'm just constantly watching. But again, like just links aren't all of it, right? So like SEO is part of marketing. And so like I'm a big fan. I use Moz.com a lot. There's a lot of like SEO tools these days, but Moz has been a good one. Like I've got like stuff that we're trying to rank for in terms that I'd like to see us rank for, and I've just got that going on in Moz, and it's just constantly like giving me updates like, hey, your rank changed for this. That's a good one. Another tool that I use a lot for SEO is something called Market Samurai or Marketing Samurai. Let me double check what that is called. Market Samurai. It's kind of old school at this point. It hasn't maybe aged all that well. It's like an Adobe Air application. It's not very high resolution. It doesn't really look great on some of these high resolution monitors, but it's a really neat tool to do like keyword research. And then it can do some like pulling up Google results to kind of seeing your rank. That's just another one that I kind of use to kind of look at SEO stuff. But in terms of kind of measuring effectiveness of how we're doing in SEO, at Moz.com is something that I've been kind of relying on, and it, you know, it'll alert me like, hey, you know, you just slipped like 20 spots for this term. it's a good one to kind of keep paying attention to. Yeah, and like I mentioned, like referring sites, just kind of using Google Analytics to see where we're getting traffic from has been huge. Like, it's like, I know the effectiveness now of what guest blogging has done. It hasn't been great for us. I know a lot of people like swear by it, but you know, I've guest blog posts on a bunch of places and I don't get enough referral traffic, I think, to make it worth it. Maybe it's getting our brand out there a little bit more, but when I just kind of publish a post on my own channels, like whether it's Signal versus Noise or even my own blog, I usually get a lot more traffic back to the things that I'm linking to and trying to encourage people back to. So I'm a little down on like guest blogging, but I don't know. It's, you know, I don't know. People get different pull out of those things. But yeah, I pay attention a lot to like referring sites, and in there you notice things, not just like the guest blog post, but it's just like, oh, we're getting a bunch of traffic from like a product review site. So it's also kind of just categories of things that are working. Guest blog posts maybe not working so much. Product review sites work a lot for high-rise, for our situation. And so I'm really interested in getting in more product review sites, right? We've probably got a ping. We have a PR firm now that's probably going to help us out with a lot more of this, like just pinging more product reviewers, like, hey, we just launched a new iOS app, you want to review it, kind of stuff. If you run a product review site and you want to review high-rise, I don't know, please do that. Talk to me. I don't know, is there anything else I can do to help you review it if you run a product review site and you watch this? So that's, you know, watching referral traffic has been huge for us, kind of knowing what works and what doesn't. Test everything. Like, I mean, again, this is a cliche, but like, we are really religious about it. Like, I don't put a link in our footer unless I've tested it. And maybe it's a little bit easier for us because we have maybe a little bit more traffic than, you know, maybe a startup just starting out. So like, you're going to have to take some more chances with this stuff, but we test a lot, like whether it's a link or a button color. I've also got this kind of philosophy, this is maybe a tangent, but I've also got this philosophy that like most people are testing for this is probably going to be like against what I just said, but it's like, I also think people are testing for too much, too little changes. Like, everybody's testing stuff, but they're hoping to like measure a 1% change. I think I've talked about in this blog before, like you have so many visitors you need to test a 1% change. Like, go for the 20% changes, go for the 30% changes. And so I don't spend a lot of time, split test, A/B test. I don't spend a lot of time like making small changes because I just know that's not worth it for us. So, this is like a total marketing design tangent. So, you know, like if someone wants me to add a link in the footer, at this point in our priorities, I'm like hesitant to do it because it's like, if it's not going to move the needle enough right now, and I've got all these other tests that I really want to see if they move the needle, maybe I'm not going to add that footer, right? It's like, it's not important enough. Everybody thinks it's so important to like get more stuff on the marketing site. No, probably not. Just leave it off. Unless you can measure that 20 to 30% change. Because there's a lot of 20 to 30% changes I think you can get, especially being early on. But yeah, we test everything. I'm obsessively testing things. Even now, like you can go to highrisehq.com/index.html or highrisehq.html highrisehq.com/indexab.html to see a link I'm testing up at the top that leads to an about page. But I'm obsessed with testing. I test, so, you know, like Google ads, it's another thing. I'm obsessed about testing there. You know, whenever I'm doing Google ads, like I take 2 ads out at a minimum and split test those things. You know, because you're obviously trying to constantly keep optimizing your ads in Google Analytics. So, I mean, that's like, it's all the cliches. I'm just using the tools that are always kind of given to me to test a lot of these things. All right, so let me cover a couple of these questions. Jason Brown mentioned, maybe I missed it, but were the trade shows successful? I don't know. We've only done one trade show, and the trade show wasn't necessarily for effectiveness as much as it was to like learn what our customers are going through when they do trade shows. There's a lot of people who use high-rise and go to trade shows. So we wanted to really learn what their problems and challenges were, maybe to help influence what we did in our mobile app. Maybe it'll help influence what we do with other products to help get leads in high-rise. There's still something there for us to kind of learn about, like, you know, our customers have a lot of problems doing trade shows. Maybe there's some ancillary products there. There's definitely some ancillary marketing we could do, like, hey, here's how to do a trade show. Check out Highrise. So I think it was successful just because we wanted to learn something from it. But no, that one trade show that we did, I can't say that we got a ton of leads or anything from it. To say that the right trade show wouldn't be good. This was like a really small business trade show, and it was a lot of people who were like didn't even have a business yet. We met some interesting people, but I'm still not sure it was like the best audience for maybe what we do at Highrise. So Scott says we have not had any wins from guest blogging, but guest podcasting has been really good. I assume you just mean by being a guest on a podcast. Yeah. If yes, yeah. Like I think so. Me too. Like I hear a lot of people, just some person today emailed me and they're like, I heard you on this podcast that I did like a year and a half ago. So yeah, being a guest on a podcast is like interesting because it's like this brand building, awareness building thing, which is really impossible to measure. Again, unless you can convince the podcaster to provide a coupon, which is something I should be doing and I'm not really doing. I was on a podcast today, recorded one. I probably should drop like, hey, if anybody listens to this, use this coupon code that I made specifically for this podcast. So I'd get some sort of measurement from it, but I didn't. That was a kind of a do what I say, not what I do kind of moment. Thomas asks, at what point did you decide that you needed to hire a PR firm? Well, that's a great question. I've already talked too much. This went on for like 14 minutes already. I will cover the PR firm another time. I'm sorry, Thomas. I want to keep these things shorter, but I'll talk about the PR firm more on a future episode. I hope you guys are having a good night. And if I'm not live tomorrow, I hope you're having a good weekend. And thank you so much for watching these. I hope you're getting a lot out of them. Please keep asking the questions. You know, Twitter, email me, nate.cotney@gmail.com. People are emailing me. I'm getting some really great questions that I will cover. Keep them coming. I love it. Please hit the thumbs up, and I will see you later. Bye, everybody.